On the block, sports talk, Yankees, Mets, Knicks, New York. On the block, sports talk, Giants, Jets, Nets, let's go. On the block, sports talk, Philly, Miami, Dallas, Buffalo. On the block, sports talk, NBA, MLB, NFL, we got it all. On the block, sports talk. 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 Directed by Kenny.
This is Natasha Watts. You're tuned in to On the Block Sports Talk.
Countdown. What's up, everybody? It's On the Block Sports Talk coming to you live from the 502 Sports Lounge on White Plains Road in the BX. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody and hope you're warm out there because it's brick. It's brick city out there in NY right now. Yeah. The whole Northeast is crazy right now. So hope you're all enjoying all the football. You got the college, all the bowl games, about 100 of them. So, stay warm and watch all your football and some basketball and all that, Talking about the bowl games, that's where we're going to start. We'll talk a little quick bowl review and chit-chat about a few of those games real quick because we didn't really get to do a preview of them last week, but that's all right. Oh, and before I go on, I was going to say this is my man Panda to my left. We got a little special guest over here, my man Kev, and somebody else on the way. And big shout out to everybody else that couldn't make it. And if you're home listening to the podcast, doing your thing on the internet, check us out on chillloverradio.net for On the Block Sports Talk and the podcast. Now, first off, some coaching moves. Louisville might lose their coach to Texas.
Yeah, well, Texas.
See how that goes.
Texas went out against Oregon. Horrible.
Yeah. Well, Oregon does their thing, man.
Yeah, Oregon. I told you about that quarterback.
We agree on that one.
Mariota.
Yeah, that was the truth.
The Mariota effect.
He's going to be a Heisman hopeful next season, and he's going to be a top prospect. The boy's he's got the tools.
He's got big, 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5", 230, 225. He's got all the physical attributes is there. He can throw the ball. He can run. He's an athlete. He's going to be a problem for. Well, he's always, Oregon's always a problem in their conference, so it is what it is for that. But we'll see what happens with Louisville. He's going to meet with his AD and see if he don't leave
I think it's a
Chuck
good
Strong.
move. I mean, obviously, with Charlie Strong, obviously you look at it from a standpoint, he's done really good work there.
Yeah.
Bridgewater's leaving for the pros.
Yeah.
So he's figuring, hey, Texas got all that money. It's funny.
And they got a big talent pool, man. That state of Texas got a lot of talent.
It's all about football and religion. I saw a bid on that. It's an old movie, Blazing Saddles, and somebody took that. That's how Charlie Strong's gonna walk into Texas. He walks in and meets all the boosters. Here comes the black head coach. But
they're like, what the hell?
I think he'll do well there. I think he'll do really well.
He's a defensive-minded coach, so we'll see how that works for him. I think it's gonna work out pretty well. They got a great talent pool. They still got talent there, left over from the last regime and all that. There's our other guest, Ray, filling in the spots for a couple other guys. So, we'll see how that works out for him. Hopefully he brings in a good OC, and he should have no problem.
But his money won't be an object.
No, it ain't. 5 years, 25 they're offering. That's on the table.
Yeah.
That's pro money.
Yeah. Well, it's Texas. Money. That's why they had NFL guys named in it because
they got their own channel.
They claim it's the biggest, the best job in college football because of the money.
Hook 'em horns. That's what they say. We'll see.
Is it the best job?
That's what they say.
Actually, their pockets are deep. They're alumni.
I'm just saying from a standpoint of all the pressure, you got to win. Right. This is like I was talking to the host earlier. It's like being in Kentucky.
Right.
Tubby Smith won the national championship, and they still ran him out.
Well, it was 10 years in between. So the thing with Texas is you got that wealth of college football. You got kids growing up from babies. They all want to be long.
Yeah.
So when you have the last 3 years, I think.
They missed out.
Winston wanted to go.
He
actually called Texas. They win.
RG3.
Right.
They didn't get.
So you're talking about 3 Heisman Trophy winners.
Homegrown talents that wanted to go to Texas that the last regime didn't look at.
Mac Brown saw something that he didn't want.
What? Heisman winner?
Yeah.
He had one.
Jameis, famous Jameis.
Listen, they said that Mac Brown has lost more talent in Texas than he's actually been able to retrieve. And so they needed a guy there that's going to keep people home.
in any college sport, you want to really keep your homegrown talent. In college basketball, football, all that. You should be able to. And if University of Texas and you can't keep your homegrown talent, you're not going to have a job long.
It's a new day in college football when the coach of Baylor says, I'm not going to Texas.
Hey, I applaud him because he's building something there, and he wants to stay there and build his own thing. So I applaud that.
Right, but for the college football purists, for the Baylor head coach to say, you know what?
Nah, I'm not going to Texas.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay
it's a new day. It's a new day.
But Baylor's they've been doing their thing the last few years.
They built a new stadium, so it's...
but I think they took an L in their bowl game the other day.
But they got embarrassed by Central Florida.
Yeah, Central. UCF gave them the business.
Yeah. You know, they have one of the best rushing attacks in the country. You know, you got to expect that.
And they have some of that homegrown talent.
If you have defense and you run the ball, you're going to win.
Well, Storm Johnson, the Miami recruit, ran wild on him. Bortles is talking about if he comes out, which I'm sure he will, is going to be a top 5, top 10 pick.
The last couple of seasons, UCF has been good. They put themselves on the map to where it's not just Florida, Miami, Florida State. They're a major player in keeping that Florida talent. So big shouts to USC. They are. The last couple of seasons, they've been a legitimate talent in college football.
Big time coach. Obviously, O'Leary had that Notre Dame situation where he lied on his resume. But he's a big time coach.
Right. So like I said, they've made themselves a player in keeping that in-state talent.
You know how if you win, people forget that. People don't even remember what George O'Leary did. Man, lied on his resume to get a job.
Yeah. Ray Lewis was accessory to murder.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
All you got to do is win.
Allegedly.
Ray busting up in here. Ray, my man.
I love him too, but it is what it is.
But speaking of some of these bowl games, some of them, not the big ones, like Sun Bowl, UCLA, they beat Virginia Tech. We all seen that coming. UCLA had a pretty good year.
That
Virginia
kid
Tech.
Jack's a Heisman candidate next year, Miles Jack. Check
From
that name.
UCLA?
UCLA, yeah.
Okay. And then, whatever, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, A&M, big comeback. Duke was giving them the business.
Yeah.
Duke was giving them the business. And that people slept because Duke, they know for b-ball. Right. Nobody thinks Duke football.
I told you they were going to give them.
They had a good year, and they gave A&M all they could handle.
Manziel put on the show.
Yes, he did.
Coming out party.
Yes, he did. He put on the show.
5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The rumor is that if it looks like Strong is going from Louisville to Texas, Cutcliffe from Duke is probably going to Louisville. That's the rumor, though.
I don't know if you have this on your bro. You mentioned Johnny Manziel. How do you think he transfers to the program?
I like him.
I don't know. I like him. It's a question. It's a question. It depends on where he goes, what talent is there already waiting for him. And I'm not gonna write him over and say, oh no, it's not gonna do it. I don't know. I say it's a question.
I like him. That kid
He's
can
got
make
heart.
every pass on the field. He can make hash to hash, makes the pro play.
But a lot of the passes he makes is from him running around, broken play. He's like a miniature Roethlisberger. Right. He's like a mini me of that. So
he's Fran Tarkenton incarnate.
Well, okay, in any case, Fran Tarkenton, Roethlisberger is like a large version of Tarkenton. You think about it.
Again, if you see what we see with Russell Wilson, we see with Drew Brees, we see the smaller quarterbacks who can throw through lanes. This kid has got a knack. I think he's going to be a star.
I'm not going to say nothing about his size, but I just say, I don't know.
You already know where I stand.
Yeah,
he's the biggest sensation next to Deion coming into the NFL.
Wow,
The
that's kind of big, right?
But a couple of years ago, there was a guy that everyone was talking about the same thing, big sensation, Tim Tebow. Until they began to break him down.
He couldn't throw the ball.
No, but wait a minute, that wasn't said earlier on.
It was. He never could make that hash.
Johnny Football, I wouldn't disrespect Johnny Football. Put him in the Tebow conversation.
I still got faith in Tebow. But
I don't know why. He's got a job, though. He's going to be a broadcaster.
He'll be a broadcaster.
And that's where he needs to be.
And the future governor of Florida.
Yeah, most likely. That crazy-ass state. But anywho.
I don't know. I just don't, the guy the people that win the NFL draft, that first pick, are the worst team in the NFL. Okay, he goes to a bad team. He's not going to be able to show what he can do. They won't have the offensive line. They won't have the talent around him.
I'm not saying that because the Texans have the first pick and they're rumored to be trading the pick to go down. But they got Bill O'Brien, Belichick clone,
he's got
Brady.
pro experience.
You got a team in Houston that just kind of the roof fell out. There's still some talent there.
And then he's bringing in Romeo Crennel as his defensive coordinator.
There you go. So I mean,
they got some talent.
They got some talent there.
And also look at Cleveland. They got a high pick. For them stinking as they did, they do have some talent on both sides of the ball.
Right.
I don't know about that kid Hoyer if he comes back from injury, have a competition going on. He showed that he can play some ball.
Well, it
So
comes
there's still some
down to
question
the
marks
coach.
over
The
there.
rumor is
Yeah.
Bob Stoops from Oklahoma is looking at that
I don't
job.
think I don't see him
I
leave.
can't see him.
I see him staying in Oklahoma.
Well,
man.
I think again, you look at it from a standpoint of guys. I think 15 years. He's done everything. He's now got the triple crown and won every BCS bowl.
Yeah.
Coaches go after money too. Players go after money, but coaches go after money too.
Oh yeah, they're really
So-
human. They got bills to pay.
Exactly. So you know what? He may take that job.
He's a Youngstown
Young
kid,
guy. Let him do 5 years. If he flops, and he goes back to the college.
and he's
Yeah.
from Youngstown, Ohio, so
Yeah.
it's home.
We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. Then the Gator Bowl, Nebraska edged out Georgia. Pretty good game out of match. I didn't really peep that one too tough, but 24-19 was a close score.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Capital One Bowl, South Carolina handles Wisconsin. Clowney's he's going to the draft. You think he's going to try and pull one of those I don't want to play this type buttons? You know, some guys do that every now and then.
I think in the beginning of the season he might have had that cachet. I think a lot of things it was questioned because maybe the microscope was on him taking plays off. Now all of a sudden the two speeding tickets. Clowney has the talent to transition the game,
Because he got this though.
but does he
That's
have the
the- that's the
Valentine?
balance.
That's the key.
He's put that on his head now.
Right,
So he
exactly.
has to show improve come pro days and the carbines.
Right.
He has to show improve.
Right.
Because he put that question mark on himself.
Right.
So
Because they even
Wish you
talking
luck.
about the kid from UCLA, the kid Barr, the DN, might grade higher because there's no issues. He's a solid player, can get around the edge. Talent, he's phenomenal talent, but does he have the ticker?
Yeah.
And that's the question.
Now, I hate to be leftist,
that's what you do.
but why do you say he has to earn it? Because he just took off the last part of his year? Because he's not going to get paid if he got a broken leg from the NCAA, who's making money off him right now?
But as a
just
coach,
saying.
as a head coach in football, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, but
you
you
want
don't
to see
wanna
that want to go
you-
out there
you
and
don't
get
wanna see
it.
your
I want to
number
knock
one-
heads off. That's what you want
You
to
don't want to
see.
see your number one pick break a leg or tear an ACL.
No, but you pose the question is, am I going to draft this guy, give him a boatload of money, and is he going to take plays off or take games off because he's playing a scrub team this week?
First 2
You
years.
don't wanna see that.
His first 2 years, he played out of his mind, right or wrong.
Right.
They're still playing.
But I'm
his stuff
saying
off
he
his
posed the
belt.
question on himself. I'm not saying this is what he's going to do, but this is what everybody said. He put the question mark on himself. Is he going to guy that's going to take plays off in the game?
You know
because
what?
the talent, we're playing these guys, whatever. You don't want that. I'm not going to pay a guy $4
So
or
you're
$5
not
million
gonna give a guy a
for that.
boatload of money if he's going to take plays off. And
If
take
you
it.
question
You know
him.
what? In theory, you're right. And when you're having that conversation with mom and daddy, and they live in wherever they live in.
Yeah, because look at Lattimore from
Right,
South Carolina.
and
his
we
teammate.
had that conversation. I can get it, but there's a certain mentality as a football player.
You don't
and
want
if,
that.
and if that's the case now, then what's the case when he's in the league 3-4 years? He wants a new contract. Does that same thing swell up? So I think again, as a football player, and I think we've all played, on a high school or college level. If you got a guy thinking about that, and the next level is always the next contract.
Yeah,
So
right.
what is
So
he
it's
thinking? Like, hey, listen, I got a little neck injury, I got a stinger, I'm not going back in. I think that's a cause for concern.
Because as he's the type of guy that's going to be a stud on your defense, the guy, and you don't want that question mark on your
So-
defense all the time because that can feed into another player.
So he went from Heisman Trophy candidate to Albert Hainsworth lookalike. That's what I was supposed to say.
And he did it to himself.
Perfect analogy.
He did it to himself.
That's
I
it.
wouldn't say that, Ben.
That's an extreme.
That's extreme, but I think that's good.
He put the question mark on himself.
All right.
And then you're speeding all over the place. Where you actually got to speed in South Carolina? Where do you need to be at 100 miles an hour in South Carolina? I'm just saying.
He wasn't drunk, right?
Nah, but hey.
All right.
Spurrier
You
said
speak-
the right thing. January 2nd, he had enough money to pay those bills and
Yeah.
debts.
Exactly.
So he's
So,
good
you know,
right now.
He's 19 years old. We all speak.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. And I hope if he does get drafted and he's not on my team, he's not in the NFC East.
So, let's get it straight. You didn't want Teo on your team.
Because I wasn't
You
too,
didn't want the
I wasn't
honey
too thrilled with Teo. And
want-
what has he done now?
You want he's in the playoffs.
He's starting.
Listen,
But
he
not because of
started-
him?
He got to be impressed with Taylor. But see,
The Chargers aren't in the playoffs
He went
because
to
of
a
Teo.
small market.
Right.
He was ignored because he wasn't making a lot of plays in the beginning, and
was
now
on the
all of a
bench.
sudden he's starting to come on.
Yeah.
Watch what happens if they advance towards the Super Bowl. Now, how much light is going to be on Taylor?
I don't think he
I
could
don't
have
see that
handled.
happens.
I don't
think
think
they out
Teo he could have handled the limelight in New York. and the press.
No.
Because you know the press
He
would have been
wouldn't
bad to the
he
ally.
wouldn't survive that.
No.
So
He's a strong kid.
How do you know that?
He wouldn't
He
survive
was
that.
whimpering around during that little incident.
He was crying at news conference.
Man, I didn't know she was a thing in there.
That's why. That's
You
why.
didn't want the honey badger on your team?
Come on, man. Really?
Not in New
He'd have
York.
been J.R. Smith and all over the place, man.
Not in New York.
Come on, man. Too much temptation
That's
for
Michael
some
Ray
people.
Richardson 2.0.
Too much. The temptation of the tri-state is not built for everybody.
Yeah, no.
Honey Badger, handle your business, get well, have a good season next year. I don't think he could have handled the big lights in New York, man. I really don't. And I wouldn't want that to damage my team, him wilding out at One Oak somewhere downtown. Look at Plaxico.
We had a guy named Shockley on our team.
Right. And after a while, where was he? In the Saints.
But you know what? The Giants did something out of character this week. They released a coordinator. That's normally not the Giants' way. And they
No,
say
he retired.
that they didn't. But that's come on.
Oh, he retired. They
retired with a hand on his back.
Exactly. It's time to retire.
He put a size 11 in his back. I mean, come on. He has to.
I was watching the press conference, and the owner was not a happy man.
He shot him down on Sunday. Said that the offense had to change.
Right. He said, how do we figure out that Gerald Jurgens could play after 3 years? How do we just figure it out now in the last game of the year? That's not happy. He wasn't a happy camper. And I really was like, exactly. You got a guy on the bench for 3 years, and you find out he could play the last game of the season?
Well, I don't think it.
Well, you can't. Come on, man. If it wasn't for injury, we wouldn't
Sometimes
know
you
about
got to
Victor
give it
Cruz.
God.
That's true.
That's
All
true.
right.
That's
But
true.
sometimes when you're 0-6, throw somebody out there that
It
can do
happens.
something
It
else.
just happens.
And they didn't do
It
that.
had, Tom Brady wouldn't have a job. He wouldn't be the greatest.
Tom
somebody
Brady
got hurt.
couldn't beat Tom Brady.
Tom Brady owes Ron Lewis a royalty check.
I hope he takes care of it. But anyway, we'll be all right.
John Abraham niggas are throwing the game.
And on to the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. That was a good game.
That was
a good game. 2 smash mouth games, 2 smash mouth teams. Michigan, what?
Moment of silence for the last Rose Bowl, man.
That was the last Rose Bowl?
Well,
Yeah, 'cause we go to the playoffs next
and
year.
it's more in its form, yes.
Yeah.
The 100th Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
The granddaddy of them all. And that was a hell of a game.
That's
Smash mouth on both sides of
Yeah.
the ball. Defenses, that was a great game.
Well,
And-
not so much smash mouth.
No, they like to
All right.
run it down your throat, both those teams.
Yeah, exactly. Stanford kept running their players right into the other guy's team.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no. I didn't see any change up. There was no
Yeah,
adjustment.
there was no adjustment on Stanford's
It
part. That's why they
wasn't
lost the
for a
game.
fluke play in South Bend. Michigan State could be playing in the Rose Bowl Monday.
For the
They would
title.
have been undefeated, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, but big shouts to Michigan State. They won, even without their standout All-American middle linebacker.
Yeah,
They had because a little disciplinary. He got off the team and all that. Hey, I wouldn't mind him at Giant Blue. We could take care of work out ever issues he has. 'Cause that's what we do. We fix
Third
things.
round pick.
But hey, he's a stud. He's 6'5",
Yeah.
240, something like
I'd
that.
rather
He
wait
can
for
run.
Evans. I'd rather wait for Evans from
He might not be on the board, man.
I know.
That kid is the truth. Evans, Texas A&M wide receivers.
Bunch of receivers showed out this week.
Oh,
Evans is one.
Sammy Watkins.
made
If
some
people
money.
didn't know,
You know
Sammy
now.
Watkins from Clemson let y'all know last night.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of movement. This is going to be a very interesting draft. There's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of movement in the
Yeah.
draft.
Marquise Lee from
4 or 5
USC.
picks.
Yeah, he's in the draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Michigan State for representing the Big Ten because nobody else could
Yeah.
in these bowl games. Wow,
Yeah.
we are stinky.
Yeah,
in bowl games.
but I was happy for the Orange Bowl because I don't like Ohio State being a Michigan
All right,
fan.
I don't even. Okay,
Big shouts
all right,
to,
whatever.
to Sammy Watkins and Clemson.
Yeah.
They took it to Ohio State.
Dabo Sweeney finally got a win.
They took it to him. They took it to him. Sammy Watkins, 16 catches, 227 yards.
If you're having a bad time in a bowl game, Ohio State is your enemy. Jesus.
Yeah, that is true.
What you think about
Instant
Todd
medicine.
Boyd? What's your thoughts on
I
him?
like Taj Boyd. I think he'd be a solid pro. He go to the right coach. That he can throw the ball.
Right.
He threw for over 3,000 yards this season. He's got every quarterback record in Clemson, the most winningest quarterback in Clemson. He can run if he has to. He's not
Right.
one of those running quarterbacks.
Right.
And he ran for $1.25 last night.
Clemson, they're SEC light because they have so much talent in that program. I mean, they shell out pros every year.
Yeah.
The kid, the DN number 3, I forget
Yeah,
his name.
he was good.
He showed out.
Even the tackle, that white kid, Bouncy or Pouncey or whatever
Pounce,
his name
yeah,
is,
yeah,
he made
yeah.
some good plays. They got some talent, man.
We'll see.
Clemson is all right. Every year there's a team that you're not getting an easy win. You're getting a hard game.
They'll probably
playing
come in
Clemson.
next year, top 5 preseason.
I like Taj Boyd. I think he could be a solid pro somewhere because he's got good size. He's a big guy, throws the ball, good arm strength.
The key with him, he throws the ball well in the college, but the key, can he make that hash to hash throwing the pros?
Yeah, like I said,
That's
the right coaching,
Right.
the right system for him with talent. Not trying to put him out there where he has to start right now.
Right.
I think he could have a solid career. He's got good size. See what happens with that guy. And Missouri, they handled their business in the Cotton Bowl.
They got a kid there. He's a sophomore. Green Beckham,
Yeah.
6'6" receiver.
Yes.
That you talking about somebody in the next 2 years?
All three. They're starting
they any
6'4",
pick this year.
6'5", and 6'6".
They got a basketball
Need to be
team.
scouting.
Yeah, they got a
Need to be scouting
1,
that
2,
team.
and a 3, and then he's starting 5 right there.
For a wide receiver. I told you we need big receivers. 6'5".
But there's a lot of receivers that there might be 1 or 2 that fall down. And there's a lot of big ones.
No,
That
no,
goes-
but
There are a
Missouri-
lot of talent because the receiver is a big position this year.
Playmaker, you gotta have
Defensive
a
back is a
playmaker.
big position.
But
Yeah.
They're going to be a lot of moves. In that draft.
It's a passing league. The
Right.
kid at Rutgers, people haven't talked about. Kid Hamilton, 6'5", not Hamilton, I'm sorry, Benjamin, 6'5" at Rutgers. He's injury prone this year, didn't play much, caught about 45 balls, but he's got the size, 6'5", gets in the right program. That's a late round pick. Again, you make your money as a draft scout or whatever, and set 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Anybody knows the first, second round.
Yeah.
But it's those
Finding
diamonds
those
in
hidden,
the rough.
those hidden gems. The other kid on Clemson on the other side is pretty good. Bryant.
Bryant,
He's like 6'2", 6'3", they
Had a
said.
touchdown
And he's a
last
young
night.
dude, so he's got another year or 2 in Clemson.
Yeah.
But he's going to be the business because Watkins is out of it. He's going to get paid. Watkins is going to be on someone's team on
Rockland, he
Sunday.
made a couple million last night.
Yes, he improved his stock a lot.
16
Big shot.
receptions, 227 yards, and 2
2
touchdowns.
touchdowns. He's got
That's
the
pro-
moves.
that's-
He's showing the hands.
That's almost pro numbers.
Exactly. And that
I mean,
touchdown.
you cut that in half in the pros.
That
That's
touchdown
still
when he
good.
jumped up and took it, caught it at his peak. Big shouts to Sammy Watkins. You can come anytime and buy us a drink. What up?
Take it to dinner.
Yeah, he gonna get a nice new year.
Did you talk about your boys?
Who's my boys?
Yeah, Roll Tide. What happened to them?
Roll Tide got rolled.
Yeah.
Oklahoma gave it to him.
Got out coached.
Got
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the left tackle in Alabama was having a bad day. A bad day. He couldn't stop that dude. When they needed a play on defense, Oklahoma, they were getting it. The left tackle couldn't do anything. He couldn't do it. He was looking. He needed to get his cardio up because he was looking really bad against that dude, man.
Kind of justify what Bob Stoops said about the SEC earlier this
SEC?
season.
Yeah,
You know, made the comment, he backed it up.
he
He
talked
called it and he talked it.
His
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
came in there and played. They
right.
sped the tempo up and they took him out of what they wanted to do. They
People
couldn't
forget
run it.
about Oklahoma. I mean, it's just again.
But that's
a major
that's one of the
franchise.
major college institution right there. College football, you think Oklahoma, Nebraska, Alabama.
Wisconsin.
Well, no,
You
yeah,
think of those
before-
teams.
I think Nebraska is drifting off
Yeah.
because when they mentioned the Big Ten, I think it hurt their recruiting. Nebraska used to be heavy in New Jersey.
Right.
They would be able to go west to California, and now being in the Big Ten, they've changed how they recruit, and it's affected them because they're still having running quarterbacks
Yeah,
in a passing situation. I'm curious to see how Rutgers is going to do in the Big Ten. You know, again, having a New York attraction right outside in Jersey,
Yeah.
will that get kids to come east? You know, they can keep out the news with their coaches, but
yeah.
Well, they'll get a lot of kids to stay home. They don't have to travel. You know, to be competitive.
well,
Yeah, you
that's
figure
true.
their parent can watch them play, so that'll be an edge for them. But it's going to be tough joining the Big Ten. Man.
Yeah.
You got colleges that are part of
Established.
college tradition. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
a kid you're looking at Michigan knocking on your door or Rutgers knocking on your door. It's like, wow. You see that
Right.
maize and blue, or you see that Wisconsin color. You know, and you're like, then Rutgers is like, yeah, hold on. What do you got to say? You know, it's going to be tough.
Right.
It's going to be tough.
You got a good recruiter. You can do it.
They can recruit
Yeah,
it. They can
yeah.
keep Jersey kids home. They'll be all right.
Yeah. In state, like we said, you got to
Yeah.
for big colleges, you got to keep your in-state talent.
Yeah,
Try
New
your
York.
best to keep your in-state, to keep your program afloat.
What do you think about O'Brien going to the Texans? Who do you think going to go at Penn State now? What's your thoughts?
Oh man, I don't know. Being a Michigan fan, I don't really care. But
They were talking
But nah,
one chat,
I-
but he just got fired from the Titans.
Yeah.
So, see what happens with
see,
that.
this I don't know, man. That's gonna be a tough one for Penn State.
James
they got
Franklin from Vanderbilt on the list.
It's got to
Yeah,
be
he
a
might
big
be.
name coach. They
Yeah,
can't be someone
either
that's-
that
yeah, because they're Penn State. They
Yeah,
need
they need a
to
But did you
big
hear what
name.
they said about O'Brien? That there was so much issues with the traditionalists that he wasn't a Joe Pa guy and he kind of did things differently. Was one of the reasons why he left. Because
Right.
he felt so bad about, like the kid Hackenberg, the freshman, who's the quarterback. He's going to be in 3 years. He'll probably be the first pick in the draft in 3 years. You know, he gets these kids to come and buy in the system, sanctions, no bowl, and then your coach leaves. And then he made a comment about it. He would feel like if it was him, he would feel, like he'll feel jaded. But he felt like he had to make the move because he didn't have the backing, which I found crazy. This guy coached his tail off. People were talking about Penn State was going to win 2-3 games. Kid, I won 15 games in 2 years. So, I mean, just incredible that they would still have that.
Next year, they're going to cut down the sanctions because, I mean, those kids didn't have anything to do
Yeah,
with it.
the new class is coming in. So
Yeah, they didn't have anything
They got to
do
cut
with it.
them a break.
So they're going to cut them a break, and head coaching-wise, it's going to be tough.
Right.
Personally, we can get the psychic hotline lady so she can bring the ghost of Joe Pa to bring it back. They killed that old man.
Hey, man, it is
They
what it
killed
is,
that old man, and that school will never be the same.
Well, let's talk some pro stuff, man. Let's talk some pro stuff.
The Sundays.
Yeah, move to Sundays with the big boys play. We got to put your big boy pants on. Some more coaching news with Tampa Bay. They got Lovie Smith,
Yeah.
and he
I
brought
think
in
that's
Leslie
a great
Frazier.
move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he started there. He was on their staff.
Yeah.
So he could do some things, and he has some talent to work with on the defensive side of the ball.
And
they brought in
offensive side.
Leslie Frazier. They brought in
Yeah.
Leslie Frazier as a defensive coordinator.
Offense,
Do
yeah.
you think Revis stays?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he's still in the contract.
Nah, the way their
No.
contract worked
Oh,
out, it was
right, he
kind
had
of a 1 year
the-
deal.
you're
for
right.
him.
1 year, yeah, exactly.
See, you know what, with Revis, he showed his colors as a Jet. That
He sure did.
He wants money.
That's all
So
it's about.
I don't think he's going to stay because I don't see them offering a lot of money.
But
But
he
then
didn't have a
again,
great year, so maybe
Yeah,
he might
no,
have
man.
to restructure, right?
I think he's going to bounce. Unless Levy talks him into staying and works something out with him because they played him in the zone a lot. And he wasn't happy there.
Love's
He's
not
not
a
a
zone
zone
guy.
dude. Exactly.
He's a Tampa 2 guy, right?
Right. So,
Yeah,
I don't know. They're going to see what they're going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if he runs and
I
chases the
wouldn't
check
be surprised
somewhere
either. He's gonna chase the
because that's
check.
what he does. He's a chase check.
He might
check chaser.
come back to the Jets.
But I don't see him
Hope that
being,
works out.
what he was 2 years ago. I don't see him being that financially where he can control his own
To
shot.
demand that kind of money.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to talk himself and demand himself out of a job in Tampa. I don't think they're going to look for him to stay. They might ask him. He's going to want a boatload of money. He'll be like, you can go. We'll get some young dudes. Because Lovie Smith showed he has an eye for talent. He built a damn good defense in
Should
Chicago.
never been fired in Chicago.
Yeah, they got a raw deal. He got a raw deal.
absolutely.
And I think he's going to do well out of Tampa
Yeah, they got
because he's got pieces.
You know, they got a good offense.
They got linebackers. They got a good D-line.
Leonard's a decent quarterback.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a
Lennon.
season.
I
Right.
told you, he's a skinny muddy ice.
If the muscle hamster comes back healthy, ready to rock,
Oh, that's
their
the
running
thing.
game is on point.
No, that's the thing.
You know,
Their running
you-
game was on point without him this year.
Right. That's well, they're going to be even
Wow,
more deadly.
that played a
They
lot.
can do some things. now.
You could actually see them at least in the playoffs in the mix. with
Yeah,
the two
yeah.
he'll be a playoff talk about
He'll be a
team.
playoff team.
The NFC South.
They
It's
got
gonna
that
be-
big wide receiver, 6'5", Mike Williams, Tampa Mike.
Mike Williams. Yeah.
They're
they
going to
got-
be
they got-
they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem.
And
And the NFL
Vincent
has
Jackson.
shown-
Yeah.
V. Jax.
The league has shown that you can be bad one year, come back the next. And
Oh hell yeah,
sure.
hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and watch out for this guy, Timothy Wright. He's a tight end. Just
Okay.
remember I said that. Timothy
What y'all
Wright.
think the Lions are going to do? Because the Lions, they got too much talent to be stinking it up the way they have and falling apart and not sealing the deal the last few years.
They
They
should-
got a lot of talent on that team on both sides of the ball.
Trying to find Wayne Fonts.
They need,
people they
they need
play
a
for.
disciplinary coach. Coach that's going to come in there and tighten up the ship and make sure there's going to be no baloney going on in there because
right.
they got too much nonsense happening for them.
Yeah.
So what you want to do? Go for a college coach?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know.
no,
Not a
do
college
that.
coach. They need
No
someone
way.
that these guys are going to have to respect. A college coach ain't going to earn those guys' respect.
I mean, Megatron don't say too much, so you ain't got to worry
Well,
about
he's
him.
not the problem.
Right.
So
And they need a good quarterback coach for Stafford to make sure he gets his mechanics down right because he likes to throw the ball all kind of different angles and he throws a lot of bad
Well, the
interceptions.
only guy out
He's
there
not
really,
disciplined.
that could go in there and make a difference is probably John Gruden. But he won't.
I don't. He's not going to.
He's not gonna-
He
not
seems
coming out
he's
the
real
box.
happy. He's real happy in the booth.
yeah,
So who else?
that's it.
Hey,
You got to go get a
no.
coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to find
It's gonna
something.
be tough.
They got to find something.
I don't know. If you throw enough money at John Gruden, he
Bring back Morningwood, right?
I don't know. There's some shakeups going on in Miami. Their owner's not happy. He's thinking of shaking up some things.
Incognito thing wasn't enough?
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't. Something else going
So
on.
they
there.
get rid of Incognito and roll off 7 wins, right? And they need to shake it up.
But they still didn't make the playoffs, man. They got to make the playoffs,
Lackluster
man.
performance
Yeah.
when you got to win a game.
When,
Yeah.
when you had to win that game, they didn't
Pressure
show
was
up.
on.
The
Pressure
Jets
was on.
spanked them.
at
Yeah.
home. So yeah.
So there's going
They
to be some
spent a lot of money
shakeups.
last year too.
There's going to be some shakeups down there in MIA, in Party Town. Some big blue news, like we talked about. Gil Bryan retired. Hey, I know I was a Gilbert basher the last 2 seasons.
Nah,
But I want to say thanks for the chips. It was a good run.
I didn't see that.
But the offense got stale, in my opinion. It got stale and predictable. Very predictable.
You might lose
So,
Perry Fuel too.
I would not be mad at
didn't hear
that.
that.
I would not be mad at that because Perry Fuel, I don't like his scheme.
Nah.
His
He's
scheme
in
is,
the top 5 defense, top 10 defense.
they finished strong.
Yeah.
They finished strong, but I'm not going to give him too much credit for that. I think it was the will of those guys did it. And John Beeson did that. We bring back Spagnola maybe. I was hoping to
Spag's
get
coming
Romeo Cannell, but he got snatched up on me, so that's not going to happen.
not
But
gonna
we need somebody a little more aggressive. Giant defense needs to be aggressive. We know we need it.
This is Natasha Watts. You're tuned in to On the Block Sports Talk.
Talent too, but they need
Yeah,
to,
we need the talent.
We're known to be aggressive, man, and do something with a scheme that's going to stop these tight ends. Maybe that's drafting more
Linebackers.
athletic
I was just about to say
linebackers.
that their biggest weakness has been linebackers.
But
Yeah,
it's
over the
two
last
seasons.
the last 2
Couple
seasons.
seasons.
I mean,
Even
you
in
guys
the
went
small
7-2 the last 9 games.
7-3, yeah.
It's got to,
It's mine. That's what I'm saying. Whenever we
That
say,
was
"Oh, we're in
pride.
big trouble," I don't think we're in that big of trouble as we got a lot of free agents, a lot of moves. I don't think it's going to be that bad. We'll be in the playoff mix again next season.
7-2 in the last, as Marcellus Wallace said, that's pride. That was pride. Yeah. That's what they need. Pride.
Yeah, we're going to be all right. Brandon Jacobs retired. Big shots to my man, the Beast Mode, one of the original Beast Mode dudes. The Thunder from Thunder and Lightning, back with Tiki.
How about the
Your man, yeah. The last few seasons, I wasn't happy with him because he wasn't hitting the hole like he needed to hit the hole. He was the
tiptoe burglar?
right. So you know what? He came back in those last few games. He put a little energy into things, but then he got hurt. So the injuries caught up to him. He's retiring a Giant. Once a Giant, always a Giant in my book.
Right.
He helped us get 2 chips. He got the rushing record for rushing touchdowns. 60 rushing touchdowns for us in his 8-9 years with the Giants.
Golf clap.
Hey, but I'm saying he went out, man. He brought it. When he played, he brought it.
Listen, his best highlight, him running over my man, Charles
He
Woodson.
ran over a lot of people. Yeah, he
That was
broke
it.
Charles Woodson up.
That was
he
it.
broke him up.
Yeah, that was it.
He broke up a lot of dudes. He made a lot of defensive backs make business decisions and go for ankle tackles. Because you got a guy 6'4", 265 coming full speed. You're going to make a business decision and make that shoestring tackle. Or you get Charles Woodson. But hey, big shouts to Brandon Jacobs. We appreciate the 2 chips. Thanks for the memories. You're always a Giant. You'll be in the Ring of Fame in a few years. The Hall of Fame, I'm not going to push
that's
it.
not-
I'm not
no,
pushing
that's
that.
not-
But the Ring of Fame, you'll probably get in that a handful of years down the line.
Yeah,
You know,
much better.
but that's what that is. What are the the playoffs is going right now. Right now we got a decent game going on behind us.
All
with
hail the Chiefs.
With the Chiefs and the Colts.
Chiefs
Oh
up.
wow.
24-10.
It ain't as decent as it was before. The Chiefs have turned it up. They got 2 touchdown
So
leads.
that's why I was late, because I was getting into the game.
Hey man, they're not your father's chefs anymore.
Yeah,
man.
they're not. They're
They're
not.
the Chiefs.
But you know what? Big shouts to Romeo Crennel because that's the team that he had. A lot of those players are Romeo Crennel's players.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So big shouts to him.
That's true.
And watch out for him getting down there in Houston.
So how did they play for him? And maybe it wasn't the scheme.
They did one year, then the
wasn't the
next year they
scheme.
stunk it up.
Well, that's when he took over for Haley. When Haley got fired.
Right.
So he's better off on the defensive side, not being a head coach. Romeo Crennel, stay in your lane to be a
Did you
head
just
coach.
give him the Wade Phillips crown?
So-
That was a Wade Phillips
But
crown.
but it
there
is
are
what
some
it is.
guys that just can't do it.
It is what it is.
You know, when you become a head coach, particularly in the NFL, you're dealing with media, you're dealing with all kind of pressure.
And I'll tell you one
if you're
guy.
a coordinator, you don't have that. You deal with your offense.
Wade Phillips is a hell of a DC, but he needed to stay there.
Yeah,
One
he
guy
is-
who was one hell of a DC and he's a hell of a coach. Belichick. You ever seen his interviews?
Right.
In the hood.
But hey,
he's
he's that
Well, you know what?
exception.
He's got that
His
guy.
exception. His guys play for him, they win.
Oh no,
You know,
he got a
that's
second
it.
chance, fellas. Because when
Right.
you with Cleveland,
Yo, yeah.
not so
But
much.
think about it. The Cleveland, when he was there, he's bringing in players. He got out of there. Cleveland moved to Baltimore. A lot of those players that won that
Right.
first Super Bowl for Ravens
We're
are
on that
Belichick
team.
players.
That's right.
So
That's true.
he didn't get enough chance in Cleveland. So big shots to Belichick. Well, you know he's off the Giant tree. So you know how that goes. So, hey, I got to throw my Giant plugs every time I get. That's what I do. That's why I'm Big Blue, Big Joe in the building.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
big shots to Belichick, man. He's one of the exceptions because look, Wade Phillips can't head coach. He's better coordinator than head coach. Spagnola, better coordinator than head coach.
definitely.
A lot of guys. Jack Del Rio, he was decent as a head coach. He might get another shot.
He might get another
He's
shot.
gonna get looked
No,
at.
he was in Jacksonville. He wasn't too bad.
Right, he wasn't too bad. He's gonna get another try. Maybe if not this season, after he's
So
finished.
when he had Jackson, he had a lot of talent, Jackson.
Yeah,
Right.
because from Grandpa
He
Coughlin.
did. He made a lot of smoke and mirrors moves.
No,
and,
Grandpa Coughlin, man.
Yeah.
Those were most of his plays.
So not every coordinator can translate into head coaching job and do their thing in there.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
it don't work for everybody.
Yeah.
So
Oh, from
Romeo,
the defensive side.
yeah, especially the defensive side.
Rex,
He's having his ups and downs.
jury's still out.
He's
huh?
having his ups and downs,
But
but
the
Jury's
thing
still
about
out.
Rex, one thing you can say about him, players play for him.
right,
When they
and he's
announced
got
he
these
was coming
guys
back
playing.
last year, last week, the guys been crazy.
He's got these guys playing.
But he's got to perform now for the Jets are under the
Right.
cap. They got a couple draft picks.
We'll see what this
They got-
GM does. I think the GM is going to make some decent moves.
Well, again, look what Seattle got. Look what Seattle's at.
Yeah.
To
All
go
right,
back
if
to
you're
Seattle.
Idzik, do you give Rex the extension he's looking for?
Yeah, why
You
not?
got to give him somewhat of extension because he'll be a lame duck coach. He doesn't have an
Yeah.
extension.
So
yeah.
why not make him prove it for a year?
I think this last
Why not
handful
make
of
him prove
games.
it? He wants that job. Those first 6 games, 7 games, he should have to prove his job. He should have to.
Why
He
should-
should
I
have to
think he
prove
did.
that he can be there.
By him
because
finishing-
you don't know if he does poorly. Say he does 3-3 or 4-4 that first half of the season. Then you don't need him,
Hey,
coach.
he finished strong and
no.
got them 8-8. And those guys put a lot of effort in. A couple of games they didn't. They stunk up, but they put a lot of effort in.
Coach,
so
that was
I
a
think he
3-year
showed improved
That was going
enough.
to be a 3-win team. They were pulling guys off the street to play receiver. I mean, rookie,
Yeah, that-
you
no
got to get
weapons.
it. Yeah, these guys
No
been
weapons.
above their head.
I think he earned his extension these last handful of games of the season.
They're talking about
And
2
finishing
years,
strong.
so that's not a bad 2-year situation. That's still some room to keep churning, and it gives us enough cushion where I'm not out here in 16 weeks.
They're going to be all right.
I think we're in the minute rights society. If we don't see
Yeah,
anything
too
come
much. It is
quick,
too much.
we gotta get rid of him.
Absolutely.
Tom Landry, what I always said, horrible his first 6 years.
It's a
And
franchise.
he's a legend now.
Brand new
Right?
franchise.
It's a
You
different
gotta,
league now.
I know it's a different
Right.
league, but we still got to give these guys a little time,
Yeah.
just a little time.
Yeah,
to
like
produce.
everybody's too. It's a microwave society.
Yeah.
It's just everything's right now. Gotta
Well,
go.
you know what?
Sometimes
It's
it's
beyond
beyond.
the
because
field.
it's beyond the field. It's about money. I mean,
Right.
if there's not instant success, the owners are not getting paid.
And that comes
sponsors
from
are not getting paid.
A lot of owners that are
That's
new
good.
owners, and they got those corporate owners
Right.
where they don't understand that. You got the family owners, they understand that, and you don't see that kind of nonsense.
That's why they're the best programs in the league: Pittsburgh Giants,
Steelers,
and New
Giants.
England.
New England,
Right.
the San Fran. Those are families. You got those families back there. They understand that.
True.
And but you got some of these new young owners that I just got a team. I want to win now. It ain't gonna happen that way. It's not gonna happen that way.
Right.
And that's why it works. That's why like some play. Look at Peyton Hillis. I'm not trying to blow the giant horn and all that, but he was like, yo, his few games here. This is the best organization he's worked with.
Yeah, I
He's
know
like the way they handled his family, him moving there and everything. A lot of
After
organizations
he
don't do
fumbled
that.
that ball, he was
Yeah,
banished back to the bench.
yeah. Compton don't play. You can hold on the rock when you coach with Coach Compton. You play for that, but the organization handled the way they handle things.
But they're first class.
The players appreciate
Same thing
that.
with
Absolutely.
Pittsburgh.
Right.
I've been alive for like 45 years, and I've only seen 3 coaches.
Three coaches. Their family,
Three
they take care of their
coaches.
talent.
Right.
They might not pay the super big contracts all the time,
They
but
don't.
they take care of you.
They
They
don't.
take care of you. They treat you well, and guys will come back there. Some guys will they understand that and respect that, and they'll take
what's- right,
they'll
take
take
what's
the money.
That's right.
You show loyalty. Those teams show loyalty back. There's not a lot of franchises out there that do that, and a lot of them they don't win on a regular basis. That's why the Steelers, the Giants, and every decade, a few years out of that 10-year gap, those teams are in the playoffs and in the mix and winning championships.
Yeah.
Giants won a championship the last 4 decades. You know what I'm saying? The Steelers won,
Same.
and they in the Super Bowl the last handful of decades.
Yeah.
But I think
You
you're
get
starting
that.
to see the pressure with a lot of those traditional programs because, again, with the TV deals and with the jersey sales and with, all that surrounds the Twitter, all that surrounds between outside the white lines, the pressure is on to win. You got pretty much 2 years as a head coach. Look what happened to Krasinski down in Carolina.
He got a raw deal.
I'm sorry, in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
That don't make
is
no
the
sense.
pressure is on to win. There's no more free lunch. There's no more grace period.
Yeah.
The Landry and Chuck Noll days is over. It's a whole new ball game, and you know that going in. Any
But
coach
I
that
think,
takes
I
that
think the
goes
cycle
in.
will turn back to that because
I don't-
franchises like you can't keep hiring. The smarts of it is the reality of it. You can't keep hiring and bringing a new system every 2 years because it's not going to work.
But you said the right thing. corporate-wise, those corporations are going to continue to do the same thing because they want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know, it's the families that know better, that know it's going to take time to build an organization.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll see how it works out for these guys.
You got
but,
guys like Dan Snyder. He's making a fantasy football team.
yeah, and he hasn't won what? He had
And
one
they've
playoff
never
game.
won anything.
One playoff.
Anything.
One playoff game. And how long does he own that team?
And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So keep doing what you're doing, Snyder, because you help my boys out. It helps my team. So what you think is going to be the end result of this game right here, Kansas City, the Colts? What's y'all guys' prediction on that?
I got Kansas City, man. Andy
Yeah,
Reid.
Yeah.
I had Kansas City to win it.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the Colts, man. That's where I got to do. I'm just going.
That's an exciting comeback.
You gotta stir the pot. Someone got to be a little different. I'm going with the Colts.
Really? That's me.
Like that blue,
Okay, my
on that
bad.
blue.
Yeah. We let them rock giant blue. Because if y'all know, old school football fans, their blue wasn't that light back in the old days of Bart Jones and those guys
Trey
when
Jones,
they played in
yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah.
They had a more navy blue. We let them, borrow our giant blue. But that's all right though. San Diego and what's the late game? The late game is the Saints and Philly.
Yeah.
I can't
You know,
believe
I'm
I'm actually going to root for Philly.
I can't believe you said that either. But who do you got?
Is it cold outside?
Oh, of course.
Is it in Philly?
Yeah. Anyway, who you feel gonna
Well,
come
you
out
know
the
what?
winner?
I know it's the easy things to say. That New Orleans can't play outside. It's the playoffs.
You're gonna shock the world.
Right. You got a quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Experience.
You got a team who's been told all week, and they
can't play outside.
They can't play outside, and Peyton puts up gas tanks in the locker.
I think you're going where I'm going. I'm going the Saints with the upset.
I think New Orleans is going to win. You can't forget that this is a rookie quarterback. I know he played well in the regular season.
Right, and a rookie
but
coach.
It's a rookie coach. It's the playoffs.
The whole new thing right
Whole
now.
new animal.
It's a whole new monster.
So I'm
Go
going
Saints.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't say Drew Brees couldn't play because where's he from?
Vanderbilt?
No, he's not from Vanderbilt.
No, you
Drew
from
Brees.
Purdue.
Purdue, my bad. Yeah, they played outside the cold.
All the time.
Right.
Big
That was a
Ten.
long time ago.
He's a Big Ten, but he's still
Hey,
growing up.
right.
They're going to do
playing.
it. I'm going
the
to
kid can
Saints.
play.
I'm
Go
going
Saints.
Saints.
But
Who that? Who that?
Who that?
That's where I'm going.
who that getting cold?
What about tomorrow? Yeah, right? Chargers and Cincinnati. I'm going with the Bengals. I like that front four. Geno Atkins and them boys, they get at it.
It won't be as cold as it was in '82 when they played
But it's
the
gonna be
Miami.
cold.
I'm getting a channel from Ken Anderson. He's telling me go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with Cincinnati.
I go with the Bengals. I like their run game. I think Dalton's going to do it.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's got to play well.
The Red Rifle.
And and Marvin Lewis got to win a playoff game. He hasn't won a playoff game. So
Yeah,
he's got to win.
I'm rooting for my man Marvin Lewis, man. He's been.
That's a guy who hasn't won the playoff game and still keeps a job.
Yeah.
Now, the people in Cincinnati must know something.
Yeah, they got a lot of patience.
But
Yeah,
looking at
that's
that ownership has been so dysfunctional. They're the only pro team out of indoor facility to practice. There's a reason why, because probably nobody really wanted to go there. When he came there, remember that program was in shambles.
Yeah, them guys been wilding out.
You
But,
know, I mean,
big
it's time
shots
for
to
them
them.
to start winning. They got some players there. They got to
Okay,
win. But
San Fran and Green Bay. The frozen tundra. It's like 1,000 degrees below zero. Snowman Frosty's going to be out there roughing the game. I'm going with San Fran to upset.
But San Fran, now they're cool with.
Their offense is cold weather type of team. They run first. They
That's
smash
all they
you down
do
your
is run
throat.
the ball.
So I'd like them to win that game.
You think so?
I think so. I think their
I'm
defense
going with
can win
Green
it.
Bay. Aaron Rodgers he's hyped.
I think their defense going
He's
to win.
hyped.
I thought with San Fran in a close game by
I
a
don't know.
touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers has proven that he can come back from anything and be exceptional. But you got to look at the run game of
San Fran.
San Fran and
Gore.
You got to see.
Vernon Davis.
Gore is going to have a big day. He's going to because Green Bay cannot stop the run.
the weather's overhyped. So,
I
you
would-
know,
Yeah.
The weather doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
And their
Weather
style
doesn't
of
matter.
game is cold weather.
Right.
They can play anywhere. San Fran can play anywhere. So I'm looking for San Fran in a
49ers.
touchdown.
I don't think it'll be that close. I think 49ers probably win by 10 points.
All right, that's cool. Little quick NBA news and notes.
before
What
we
you
get
got?
in.
What you got?
Hey, man, what do you guys think about the whole new Pro Bowl selection?
Oh, with
Is that-
I love it.
Is that-
I love it. I think it's
incredible?
great.
They got to do something. Nobody watches.
That's what you call a shakeup.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
And
that's
you get
cool.
the two Jerry Rice and Dion.
Yeah, because you can have teammates playing against one another.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's cool. I like that.
I'm
That
really
sounds
digging
good.
it, and I'm really can't wait to see the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, because now it's about pride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now they're going to play.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have this format, well, okay, I'm going to touchdown pass, and the guy doesn't defend. And it's none of that.
Nobody wants to get hurt. Everybody's thinking about.
Oh,
Yeah, but you know what?
contract.
Now it's not just for the check anymore. Now it's, you know what, I'm better than you.
They upped it though. They made it about the check because they upped the winning,
Well,
the
they
winning
upped the win.
purse
Right.
and the losing
The
purse. They
purse.
upped that up. Because you think about it, man. The way football is and the no guarantee contracts, you can't blame some of these guys for not wanting to go.
I wouldn't blame them.
Oh, I don't blame
You
you.
got you only guaranteed your signing bonus, or maybe the first year after that. I ain't mad at
Watch
that.
how many guys still check out that game.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's making it interesting.
It's still making it
It's still
interesting.
making
Geno Smith will be the quarterback before it's all done. And
Wow, if that's not a reach, I don't know what.
because everybody's going to, I'm not
Oh
playing,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hurt.
They're gonna need an alternate, the fourth or
The
fifth
10th
alternate.
alternate.
That's gonna be crazy. But hey, little news on NBA because we almost out of here. But Chris Paul out 3 to 5 weeks. I think it's gonna be the longer part of that with the separated shoulder he happened on last night. I'm thinking 5 to 6 weeks. You know, the longer part of that, the health reason. Make sure that's their big dude right there. You know.
Yeah.
Then there's trade rumors.
Yeah.
Blake for Melo.
Yeah.
The
I
big
would
trade
do
rumor
it.
right
I'll
out
do
there.
it.
Blow up the Knicks, man. I've had enough of this. You know, they're a horrible
I'm speechless.
team.
I would do it.
Horrible.
The
Blow them up.
last handful of games, they've been playing better. They had a game they should have won last night. J.R. Smith lost his mind.
But you
How
know
he
what?
didn't know what the score was,
That's
I don't
the
know.
second time that's happened. That happened to
Bariani.
Bariani a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he-
That's coaching.
Right, but
When
this
you
guy
start when that happens over repetitive, it's coaching.
kind of reminded me of Donovan McNabb not knowing the rules to overtime. He didn't know the score.
Don't bring a Syracuse guy into this. You guys are right.
How about Golden State 8 in a row?
Golden State is the truth.
Yeah.
For those that don't know and ain't getting your NBA up, you need to get your NBA game up because Golden State is the truth. Them kids are marksmen. The Splash Brothers and my man David Lee and Bogut down in the paint.
Double-double.
David Lee fan, supporter from day one. The Knicks did the stupid thing of trading him away. I'll say that right now.
Well, they couldn't afford him. He was a free agent.
They couldn't afford him. It's baloney because they traded away, let him go, and they brought in Starman and gave him a boatload of money.
Well, remember that
They
was
didn't
before
think
the
he
summer of
was marketable
LeBron.
enough.
Well, right, the summer before LeBron, they were trying to get him, so they couldn't pay David Lee that money.
The move is biting him in the butt.
Well, it's a lot of things are biting him.
because he's an all-star. He's putting up a double-double then every night.
right.
He's a poor man's Kevin Love.
Yep.
And we all know Kevin Love is the top 3 power forwards in the game behind Aldridge and
Yeah.
whoever else you want to put in that
If
list.
we go back, we can even take it one step further. The coach they had in Golden State, the one they got now, Mark Jackson, former Knick, Queens
Yeah.
native, he was close to getting the Knick job before they gave it to D'Antoni.
They should have
They
did.
should have gave it to Mark Jackson.
That all goes with my Dolan bashing for the last couple of seasons. We don't have to go there because we all know. Those who watch know how I feel. And he's made some stupid
Those
ass
who
moves.
drink next to you.
Yeah, that too.
All right.
But anyways,
I want to
real
make
quick.
a correction. I said Melo was going to the L.A. Lakers, same stadium, wrong spot.
We'll see how that works
I
out.
can see that. I can see that. You
I
can't see
don't-
that?
I don't
I can
know.
see that.
I don't know.
I can see that.
As long as they don't get rid of Torrey, don't get rid of Shumpert, and don't get rid of Tim Jr. Don't get rid of those 3 because I'm tired of them getting young talent and shipping them off to somebody, and those kids wound up
But
superstars,
you
and
know
we get
what?
nothing.
Listen, this is Dolan. You know what's
He
going
needs
to
to-
happen. It is going to
He
happen.
writes a check.
And that goes back to our conversation with football and ownership. Dolan just, all he cares, to me, and I've said this numerous times, all he cares about is all those front row seats being sold out
Yeah,
for celebrities
that's it.
and all the corporate boxes are sold
You know
out.
why?
That's all he cares about.
Playing in New York. See, that's the
New
double-edged sword.
New York needs a winner, and they want a winner. They're tired of it, man. Word on the street, they're tired of it, man. Believe me, I got my ear to the street. Not now because it's cold and we get stuck. But right, I'm serious, man. We're tired of it, man. Dolan, stop it, man. Get us some people, man. Get a GM that knows what he's doing and leave him alone.
They should've left
like
Donnie
you did
Walsh.
Donnie Walsh. You had him right there. He was cleaning house, fixing contracts, getting talent, and you let him go. And you made him leave.
He's back in Indiana. Look what the Pacers are 1 step away from a championship.
A team, a franchise he helped build to a contender every year, and he's back in there building it again.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? But we're almost out of here, guys. Real quick, what you got?
JJ with the buzzer beater.
Big shouts to your man, Joe Johnson, Brooklyn Nets. You know he's the #1 Nets supporter. He got the buzzer beater. That's his 4th one.
Yeah.
He's the
That's
clutch
a habit
guy.
of that, yeah.
He's the clutch guy right now for
That
them.
can turn somebody around. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe they keep
That's
a
what I'm
healthy
saying.
Darren Williams,
Yeah.
and God forbid one of the geriatrics don't get hurt. They'll make a move. It's still early, and Atlantic sucks, so they can make a move.
5 games, so we can be number 1.
Right. So big shouts to Joe Johnson for his game winner and handling his BI.
Double
blah,
J.
blah, 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 blah. I'm a Knicks fan. I could care less. But anyways, and anywho's. That's about it, Mustafa. 5 more. We got 5. Any more rhetoric from the Panda Man?
Oh, I got a lot, but I can't fit it in 5 minutes.
Well, hey, what do you feel? The big one, the big bowl game Monday night. Famous Jameson on Auburn. What you got for that?
Oh, wow. But you know what? I'm going for Famous James only because I don't want to see another SEC team win.
Okay.
For the 8th year in a row.
Everybody knows where I'm going. I'm going with
saying.
Famous Jameson. I've
I'm
been picking him up all
What,
year.
you're not tired of this? You're not tired of it?
No,
the same
man,
thing
the
as feeding us?
SEC's got the best football around.
Oh, I tend
and
to.
Who do you like in the game? Who do you
I
like in the
tend
game?
to.
There's no way you're gonna answer that.
With the,
I just
Like
what
Auburn?
I just said. No,
Okay. Just had to make sure.
Florida State has the talent.
They're on both
Auburn's
sides
got
of
the
ball.
halos right now.
Defense
Those last couple
and
plays.
running and a running game.
I think their luck's
Win you a
running
bowl
out.
game.
I think their luck's running out.
That's SEC football.
But you
True.
can't bring that against Florida State's an SEC style team. I
Yeah.
mean, they got that physical up front. They can beat you running the ball with Wilder Jr. and they got the kid Benjamin, the receiver.
Yeah.
Wilder, we know Winston. Florida State, on paper, Florida State should run right through them.
I don't think they're gonna
But-
run through them, but it's gonna be a good game.
Right.
I think it's gonna be a very good game.
with Joe Navarre coming down.
Yeah.
And the rest of the gods that have blessed Auburn this year, it might be a close game.
I think their luck is running out. I've been a number 1 supporter of my man, Famous Jameis. I think he's gonna seal the deal with the Heisman and get that crystal ball, and they're gonna handle the
I
business.
really like this kid, Winston, just the way he
He's a
presents
humble kid,
himself.
too, man.
You know, I know obviously with this case, that situation,
Yeah,
but
everybody
he's a
makes him
real
humble
kid's
dude.
genuine. Yeah,
he's very
Always got a smile on his face too,
Yeah.
man. He's not one of them super duper braggarts that you like. You get tired of looking at. He's a good kid. He seems like a real good kid.
He
Man.
reminds me of Cam Newton when Cam Newton was coming out.
I think he's a little bit more humble than Cam. I think Cam was kind of. Remember, Cam was in Florida and had all type of issues
he had
there.
the-
Well,
Yeah.
right,
You know,
but
I don't think
I just
Winston's
see-
this guy.
I don't know. I just see kind of the same breed. Though.
But on that note, go Seminoles.
Yeah.
And on that note, everybody stay warm. It's crazy nippy. It's crazy cold out there. Stay inside and watch the football. That's what we do. Have a cold one on a cold day and watch the football.
Wow.
Big shouts and thanks to the ladies of 502. Big shouts to my man, ShowLoveRadio.net. Check us out on the podcast. Dr. Pascal down the street. If you got your bad back, in case you fall in the snow and hurt your back, take yourself to Dr. Pascal. And everything else. And Rosie over there across town at Castle Hill. Marble Hill, I should say. My bad. And big shouts to everybody. Charges are going down. I just want to throw that out there for somebody. Check us out on the podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Cablevision, Channel 68, Friday mornings. Verizon, Channel 34. And
Stay tuned. Come through to a theater near you.
We'll be here watching the game Sunday.
that's right. We'll be here watching the playoffs. And there's something new in the horizon coming for y'all. Check us out in a minute. Updates will be on Facebook. Check out the Facebook page for the Block Sports Talk. Something big in the horizon. Big things are going on in 2014. Wow, stop in the house. Big Joe the Panda, Kevin, and Ray in the building. Big shouts to everybody. We out of here.
Peace.
On the block, sports talk, Yankees, Mets, Knicks, New York. On the block, sports talk, Giants, Jets, Nets, let's go. On the block, sports talk, Philly, Miami, Dallas, Buffalo. On the block, sports talk, NBA, MLB, NFL, we got it all. On the block, sports talk. 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 Directed by Kenny Stafford.